Gentleman Henrico.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, point of personal privilege.
Gentleman has floor.
No, Mr. Speaker, when we come to the House, we learn a certain lexicon. Part of that includes heading down a slippery slope, getting the camel's nose under the tent, peace in the valley. But perhaps there's no verbiage that we use more frequently than the following. We are here to do the people's business. Mr. Speaker, the two bills that are going to be before this body shortly, the House bill on redistricting, the Senate bill on redistricting, are decidedly not that. These two bills did anything and everything but the people's business. What those bills did was our business. We watched out for our own interest. The majority parties in both houses took a parochial, self-centered, selfish, protect the incumbent approach that was decidedly and markedly not the people's business. We applauded those students a few moments ago. They devoted thousands of hours, and they did the people's business. And after we applaud them, we completely ignore them, and we ignore their some 30 plans that they put together by not even speaking to them, not adopting one iota of their respective plans. Shame on us. Now, don't get me wrong, Mr. Speaker. The people on the Privileges and Elections Committee and others worked hard. They worked hard at listening to the members' interest. Members went to them and said, I had a close race 2 years ago or 4 years ago. I need these Republican precincts. I need to jettison these Democratic precincts. They didn't go to the members of the P&E and say, you know, the Constitution and our orders were to come up with compact, contiguous, competitive, ensure the community interest plans, make sure we comply with the Voting Rights Act. None of that was done. It's watch out for me. And I've got a confession, because somebody's liable to bring it up, that I went and I asked and I spoke to a member of Privileges and Elections too. But let's be certain, Mr. Speaker, when I did it, I asked that they add 3 Republican precincts to my district. Now, you know, when the members went there, and they asked for their special districts, it did one thing. It made the districts less competitive. Well, here's a news flash. Elections aren't supposed to be easy. They're supposed to be competitive. And a second news flash. Competitiveness is good. It's a good thing. It raises the bar. It makes you better. Green Bay Packers won the Super Bowl with a great quarterback. I guarantee you this, the general manager of the Green Bay Packers will bring in a couple of young quarterbacks to challenge Aaron Rodgers, to make him better. Now, let me give you an idea of what we did. And if I can ask my seatmate to help me, remember, one of the charging orders is compactness. Tell me if this district, which is my friend Delegate Cleveland's, looks compact to you. Does that look compact? That's what we came up with. It's not what the students came up with. You know what? It looks like one of those ink blots that those psychiatrists give you when you're going through an anger management class. This is my friend Delegate Morrissey's district. I mean, I don't know, is it the coastline of Libya? My friend from Henrico said it could be me, or it could be one of the Pacific Rim countries. It could just be a U. I don't know what it is. I know it's a new district that just came up, and I know it's not compact. Now, This is not supposed to be a partisan speech, but I bet it sounds like it so far. But I've got vinegar for everybody. Over on the other side, they're just as guilty. The Senate Democrats. They and the House Republicans came up with districts that are none of the requirements that we asked of our students. Take the minority leader in the Senate, Thomas Norment. His district they chopped it up. He's got tremendous institutional knowledge. Chopped him up. His new district stretches from Suffolk to the Northern Neck, leaving him little of the existing 3rd district. The House minority leader, Ward Armstrong's district, chopped up. Tremendous institutional knowledge. And I'm just wondering, is there any coincidence that the 2 minority members had their districts chopped up? I don't think so. I'll tell you this, though. The public gets it. The public understands when you do this. 2 words. George Allen. We know what the Democrats did to George Allen over a decade ago, and it came back to bite them. I would not want to be either of the minority leader's opponents in the fall, because the public gets it. They know what you're doing. Now, when we look at the plan that we're about to vote on, we also realize there's something else that we didn't do. Let me see who I'm losing lots of friends today. The Democrats in the House, Republicans here. Who haven't I gone after? The governor. Governor. Kudos to the governor for setting up the bipartisan blue ribbon redistricting plan. Wonderful gesture, Governor. And to all of your aides who are listening, great. You fulfilled a campaign pledge and promise. But then what did you do? You completely ignored them. You set up a commission. You took academicians. You took retired judges. You said, give me hundreds of hours of your time, go around the state, give me a plan, and then completely and utterly ignore it. I wonder how many people in this chamber right now or in the Senate chamber could raise their hand and say, I reviewed the commission's plan sent to the governor, or I reviewed even one of the 30 to 35 student plans. I doubt that that was done. Mr. Speaker, we have an obligation and a responsibility to do our job, to do the people's business, to do it in a non-partisan fashion when we can. Mr. Speaker, your party had a noble and great opportunity to do that. It dropped the ball. It didn't do that, and at the end of the day, we come up with the same thing that the Democrats did for 100 years before. A very partisan, a very not the people's business map, and we did a disservice to the Commonwealth. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.